thank you for joining me for this week's anime discussion. Today I have
Marissa from the Crosby Library.
Yes, here with me to discuss this week's anime, which is
Sailor Moon.
ta-da! Yeah! That's why we have these DVDs here. We watched all of them right before we, recorded this. Not really, but
I mean, I have it ingrained in my memory, so it's like watching it all over.
So, Sailor Moon to me is more of one of the OGs, more of the classic anime, one of the first anime to come to America. And the different genres, they have shonen and whatever, lots of action, like the current Naruto, the Dragon Ball Z, that kind of thing, whatever's popular now. There are more genres that are localized to America now, but this was the first magical girl genre, so shoujo type of show, which is, when you think about it, probably at the time that Sailor Moon came over to the US, it was probably marketed towards boys anime. I mean, not Sailor Moon, but
right.
Anime was marketed towards probably boys more, and but this was one of the first ones that was, a different genre than you might normally expect. So what was your favorite thing about watching Sailor Moon?
I wanted to be one of the scouts growing up. I think at career day they asked, what do you want to be? I'm like, I want to be like Sailor Moon, and I want to live on the Moon Kingdom. So I really like that girl empowerment thing, especially back in the 90s where we had some, but as you said, there wasn't really a lot of anime for girls at the time. I mean, we had our character Sakura, but that came after Sailor Moon.
Kind of Inuyasha.
Yeah.
But the title character was technically a guy in Inuyasha.
Right.
Kagome was his, love interest. She was kind of the main character, but she was also kind of,
right.
Oh, she's here. This is my woman, and that's her importance.
I mean, at that time.
Yes, I know.
What was this one? It was kind of flipped because Mamoru was basically I guess the eye candy / hero a little bit.
He was the gentleman to the princess. He was the princess's most charming.
Yeah.
My favorite thing was always the idea of magical girl transformation, the magicalness of it, if that makes sense, of being able to, I'm just gonna turn into something else, like Power Rangers, I'm gonna morph, I'm gonna transform, my day job is as a normal person, and then I can pull out a thing and magically change my costume. I don't have to put on armor,
or be like Superman and go
right.
It's just you have a magic pin or what was that, compact?
Yes.
Yeah, a brooch.
Something that one might normally carry on,
right?
But it gives me superpowers instead.
And that's a lot more popular now in magic girl genre, that they usually have a little device or something, and then 1, 2, 3.
There are lots of different takes now on as anime has evolved, not only in the U.S. but in its in the places of its origin and the in the Asian countries of its origin. They've tried to tweak the genres a little bit, so you'll have some more magical girl genres that are darker, some that are more hilarious, that are making fun of that genre, that kind of thing, which I think is pretty cool. But so, who is your favorite character in Sailor Moon?
Oh, that one's difficult. If we're talking about inner scouts, I think my favorite growing up would have been Jupiter, but as an adult, it would still be Jupiter. It's still Jupiter. I don't know. I guess because she was the only scout that looked like me, and also she was really tough, but also feminine at the same time. So you can be both, and it's okay. And that was really accepting at the time. And also, younger me, side thing of wanting to be a Sailor Scout, I also wanted to be a chef growing up too.
So that would be your day job. I'm a chef, and then I pull out my magical ladle and transform.
Yeah, pretty much.
In the name of Jupiter, I will punish you, right?
With my amazing cooking.
I don't know who would be my favorite character. answer, you know, I would probably think something like a Sailor Pluto, because a kind of guardian of space and time kind of idea. Like, you know, if I could be a character in a story, I'm always like Gandalf, or, you know, whatever character, the wise old man that's kind of apart from things and has a lot of knowledge. The kind of person that you're upset at because they're really powerful and they're never there when you need them, and they always give you these helpful things like, you can do it. They're there for moral support mostly. And let the untreated do the heavy lifting, like, you know, that would be cool. I'd love to be the Dumbledore, Gandalf type of character, you know, like, I can help you on your journey, but you're going to be doing this pretty much on your own.
I can see that. I could definitely see that with Pluto, because no doubt that she is really strong. It's just she's stuck at the time door for a very long time, and then whenever she's not there, she's with the outer scouts, and they're like, oh no, we don't affiliate with the inner scouts for like a long time. She's like, I'm torn. I'm torn.
Yeah, you know, I mean, with great power comes great aloofness. You know, like I have the most powerful. Like, I could probably take most of the enemies that you fought all together by myself, but you know, you do your thing over there.
True, but it is debatable. Like, Hartaro is also one of the strongest as well too, because she is like the Sailor Scout of death.
Oh
yeah.
I am death. Right?
Yeah, she really was.
You know. I don't know. So what do you think about the direction? Like, so we have the original Sailor Moon, and then we have some reincarnations, some remakes, and continuations.
Right.
What is your favorite incarnation?
For nostalgia purposes, it would definitely be the original dub. Again, that's something that I have comfort in, that I grew up with, and I memorized like the lines from all that. But if you're being like truthful to the source, it would definitely have to be Crystal. Yeah.
You know, for those of you that don't know, I'm more of a subtitle person. It's not like, you know, like sub versus dub type of thing. But like, you know, I like the difference in the native voice to the show versus the dub now. Like, when the early anime was coming out, like everything was only dubbed, and so like the classic shows, your Dragon Ball Z, some of your early Gundams, which I never really got into Gundam until G Gundam, which is usually the favorite of, which is usually the least favorite of people that are Gundam fans. They hate G Gundam. I liked it. It was like the first Gundam that I liked, and then after that I like more saw and it was the first giant robo anime that I was like, okay, this is okay. I remember was more the like magical adventure fantasy type of person,
right?
Science giant robot spaceship type. But you know, and Sailor Moon, I don't know which would be my favorite. So I'm not gonna say what my favorite is, but I'll ask you, who's your favorite villain? Who's your favorite?
Oh, that one's hard. You know that I'm a villain. I'm a villain-loving person. For you guys don't know that I am definitely like team villains for many, many things. But if I had to give like my top 3 really fast, it would be Nehelenia in season Super S, Queen Beryl in the first season, and then Prince Diamond in the second season.
I mean, you know, sometimes like I am also like team villain, because villains are the disruptors, they're the outside, and sometimes it's like an unfair thing, like, you know. So do you know One Punch Man?
Yeah, I know about that.
So like in one of the, you know, villain, like one of the main antagonists of the story is a guy that considers himself a monster villain, and he's always been upset, like as a kid, like when people were playing heroes and villain, he was always one singled out as a villain, which I guess he's kind of gotten over, but he always thought as a kid, so like one of the monsters on the TV shows that was like a Power Ranger show was that it was this giant crab that came out of the sea and turned into a monster, and then of course the heroes beat it, but the reason that it turned into a monster was because people were polluting the ocean, and he was trying to destroy human civilization, but to save all the ocean life, and it's kind of, who's the real villain here? We all ganged up on this one person that was the one hero, the chosen one. Like, if you look at it from the villain point of view, he was probably like the one chosen one that rose up to try and protect the innocent ocean life.
Right.
And then this group of humans came and beat him into nothing. And like, if you look at it from that way, it seems a little.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's been this other like series. Like, if you look at Batman, you can see it was Poison Ivy. If you look at Darkwing Duck, it's definitely the equivalent of Poison Ivy over there. And I'm thinking about it. But I think I read this one quote that villains are those heroes that never had their happy ending.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, like some heroes, you know, they have their traumatic event or whatever happens to them, and they get saved and trained by somebody, by a mentor or what have you. But then what about those people that never have that? They didn't have that good luck, that good ending. That's the main hero. That the people that become the heroes got, the main characters.
Right, and you definitely see that in season 2 of Sailor Moon with Prince Diamond and the Dark Moon Clan, that they were trying to protect their own people and trying to save them, but they got in with the wrong crowd, which was the wise man that got them into like this fight with the new Silver Millennium.
So is that one of the reasons why that's one of your favorite villains?
Yeah, that's pretty much one of the reasons. He was very misunderstood. He also gave me that David Bowie vibe too.
You know, everybody loves a misunderstood.
Yeah.
You know, like, or rather now the move to try and understand the villain, not just to cut and dry. You're right and I'm right and you're wrong. I'm good and you're bad. End of story. So anything that happens to you is cool. It's more like a hold on, wait. Let's kind of peel back these layers and see what's going on. And then that's where you get the idea of redemption for the villains, or kind of sometimes even the villain becoming, you know, a hero or a member of the team.
Right.
Which I know happens in Sailor Moon. Is one of the first to do it, but you have that example in so many anime and more recent ones, like, you know, what is a good one in another anime? Like, you know, but they have a lot of those. Dragon Ball Z Piccolo was originally an enemy. He was like, you know, the Demon King or whatever, and after he was defeated by Goku, over time he became, you know, a good guy. But really, all of the Z fighters were people that he fought at one time or was rivals with, everybody except for the villain.
Right, and it also happened in Moon Phase. I don't know if you've seen that one. It's a vampire anime, but you have like the main character who is a vampire. There was a couple of those who were after her, and they came on her side. Most notably, like her younger sister really wanted to kill her, but they got her to be on her side as well. So
see, I was like that when we could come together as a bigger, stronger whole, and all the I guess stories that I can think of, and anime, manga, popular culture, like, you know, that if only the two, the light and the darkness could come together, they'd be so powerful. Like, imagine, you know, Superman teaming up with Lex Luthor, you know, right? You know, every time that's happened, they've achieved fantastic things. Batman and the Joker together, like, you know, all of your good and bad people. It's like, if they didn't spend so much time fighting each other, they could
change the world, make it better.
Right? So what is your favorite thing about Sailor Moon? Not your favorite character, not your favorite villain, not yet.
So it's like, why do I recommend this one out of any of them? It was the first one that definitely, where you can be the princess, but you can also be amazing and also be the superhero in your own story. And sometimes it didn't take like blunt force to get your way. And Serena's not like that. Like, she is like dubbed as the crybaby, but she's also dubbed as the understanding one and always trying to find another way to make everything okay.
Compassion.
Yeah, she's very compassionate, and that's one of her superpowers.
That's, you know, I feel like that's, you know, the best thing myself in the story. It's Sailor Moon, and in any story, and like, you know, because of course, like, let's just destroy, blow up the bad guy, blow up the monster, and not revisit any of this ever again.
Right.
Or we can, not all, but sometimes, you know, we might have to use magical powers and beams and, things like that, but sometimes we can come to a different ending.
Right.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining us for this week's discussion. Join me again next week. Of course, I probably won't be here for the craft, but thank you for watching.
Thank you, and you can always come to the Crosby Library site to have more anime fun.
And if you don't, in the name of the moon,
We will punish you.
Please visit us online at hcpl.net, as well as download the Overdrive or Libby app in order to check out our electronic materials, including ebooks and e-audiobooks. Also, please follow us on social media in order to keep updated on new content from the North Channel Branch Library and Harris County Public Library Systems. Thank you for watching.